The Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers will face off against each other for 2 games in 3 nights. Both teams are sitting rather pretty in their conference. What are your initial observations for this game?
I think this will be a hard fought game. I know if anybody's going to come with the heat, it's going to be the Houston Rockets because that's how they show up based off of their leader, Ime Udoka. He's going to make sure that they have that. And I think that if Jared Allen does not have an outstanding game, then the Cavs may struggle. That's my initial thoughts when I'm thinking about how the Oklahoma City Thunder were able to lock down Jared Allen. If the Houston Rockets take that same blueprint, if you will, and capitalize on that, I believe that this can be a win for the Rockets. So we'll see.
Oh, and you know what? My big observation or big question going into this matchup is Evan Mobley in or out? And is Donovan Mitchell out of his slump? Because he's been very inconsistent over the last 5 games. I don't know if I'm going to get 35 points from him, 8 points, 19, or 11. For the number 2 East NBA All-Star guard, he got to get it together. And I think the Cavs go as Donovan Mitchell goes. And yeah, they can hold on and win a game or two here and there without him having a good game. But if he's off consistently, that number 1 spot in the East is going to suddenly become 2 or 3.
And let me tell you why it's really serious against this Rockets team, because that Jalen Green is on.
Yes.
He's on. So Donovan Mitchell cannot afford to have an inconsistent game against the Cavs, because this Jalen Green that we're watching in the last few games, if he brings that to this Cavs game, it's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah. He's shooting 53% from the field, averaging about 31 points here recently. He's clearly on a hot streak. And I just like, man, because he was a little inconsistent early on in the season, but he kicked it up. Yeah, he kicked it up a notch.
Yes, he did. Not only that, the Cavs are going up against the 3rd best defense in the league. The Rockets come to play. They come to lock you down. You're going to be locked down. And as a matter of fact, they have about the same amount of length that the Cavs have. Now, I know we talked about OKC Thunder being a little small against the Cavs. That ain't the case with the Rockets. Sorry, not the case with the Rockets. So I can't wait to see how Alperen Sengun will probably be handling Jared Allen. I hope that's the case. Because Alperen comes from that dog mentality. They call it the it's spelled HOUNDS, hounds.
Oh,
but they highlight the HOU. I saw it on a sticker somewhere, and I was like, exactly. So yeah, y'all not ready for that. And once you get, that's what I'm saying. Once you get Jared Allen and you get him to fumble outside of the paint, the game is yours against him. So Alperen Sengun don't have no problem handling the ball. He's really good at handling the ball. So yeah. Get him, Alperen.
I think this will be a game where they either live by the 3 or die by the 3. And we know the Cavs have a dynamic backcourt. Generally, they are a 3-point shooting team. I mean, usually they shoot 40% from the 3, but they're gonna put up about 40 or 53s, which I think is absurd. But they hit a really good amount of them. And the Rockets themselves, they're about 33% from the field from 3, and they average about 36 3-pointers a game, which is still a lot. Well, not really, right? 4 quarters, about 9 per quarter, if you break it down like that. But once it starts getting to the 50 and 60 range, which the Cavs can do, it just becomes a little much.
You know what? And it's okay if they want to spend their shot clock time trying to put up a 3 while the Houston Rockets are in their jerseys. That's on them. That's on them.
Hey, that's on them.
Yeah, I don't really, that's on them.
Hey, Amen Thompson and Tari Eason is finally back after missing 13 games. And I said, Amen got to be really happy to have his hound with him, right?
Yeah.
Defense, they are terror twins. And we know in the jersey, you can't go anywhere. I'm going to lock you up Lou Dort style. And that's just what it's going to be.
That's just what it's going to be. So I expect to see that. Now, if the Cavs can withstand that, then they're the better team and they may win the game. But what I expect from the Houston Rockets in this matchup is that they are defensive heavy, right? And that they will make their shots. And if Dillon Brooks is the 3rd shot option for the Houston Rockets, this could potentially be a good win for them. Because Dillon Brooks can sometimes be a little off. But for the
Yes.
past few games, he's been a little on. So that's what I'm saying. So you're talking about your number 1 and 2. So we got Jalen and we got Alfred. If Dylan Brooks can pick up that third spot in the shooting, and then of course you have your Terra twins coming off the bench, Fred Van Fleet doing what he does, making sure that the pace is there. He's distributing the ball properly. He's there just, hold it down a little bit. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks is one of my guys. His steals are up as well. I said, man,
Mm-hmm.
woo. The thing is, when he's off, it's brutal, right? But
That's what I'm
luckily he's
saying.
been
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
luckily he's
Yeah.
been on. Now, I expect this to be a nail biting game. I really do,
Yes.
right? If both teams
Yeah.
are hitting threes, only thing is the
Mm-hmm.
Cavs could potentially be without Isaac Okoro. So there goes some of their defense right there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, I tip my hat to the Houston Rockets in this game. I think the Cavs are vulnerable when Donovan Mitchell is off. I think the Rockets are clicking at this midpoint of the season. And so, yeah, I think the Houston Rockets will come out of this game victorious.
Yeah. I had the Houston Rockets coming out of this game as well. Funny enough, the Houston Rockets will win this game, but their next game will be with Cleveland as well. It's almost like they're doing a back-to-back, but the day in between. But their next games will be against the same team, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of their next games, right? Huh.
Mm-hmm.
The next five, to me, the next 5 games for the Houston Rockets are tough. Tough. You
Yes.
mentioned they play Cleveland, and then, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
they have to play Boston in Boston. Then they
Mm-hmm.
play the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta seems to be
Mm-hmm.
clicking now. And then
Oh,
the Memphis Grizzlies and the Brooklyn Nets. How do you think they'll do on this stretch?
2-3. Yikes.
Yeah.
I see an L to the Cavs in their second matchup because I believe they'll win the first one. This Boston Celtics, I think they'll lose that one. I think they're going to lose against the Hawks because something about what the Hawks is cooking right now.
Oh my God.
Anyway, shout out to Shaq. But I think that the Hawks is cooking, and I think that they'll win against the Grizzlies, and they'll beat the Nets. They better beat the Nets. But yeah,
Oh, they
I have
sure
them going
better.
2-3.
Oh my God.
Who do you
Okay.
have them?
So I have them going 3-2 on this stretch.
Oh, okay.
And it's a stretch. I have them losing the second game against the Cavs as well. I also have them losing to the Boston Celtics. Although Boston has seemed a little vulnerable lately. The Hawks. The Hawks, yeah, they're playing really well right now. I think the Rockets can get the Hawks just based upon youth and athleticism and toughness.
Okay.
I think they'll also beat the Memphis Grizzlies because I don't know if Ja Morant is in or out. It's just the weirdest thing with him this season.
Yeah.
He's in one game, he dominates, he does this nasty dunk. And then the next game he's
Mm-hmm.
out. It's just like, what? Are you healthy or not? I don't know.
Wow.
And then I have them winning against the Brooklyn Nets, who right now, Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas, both out. Ben Simmons, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, 3-2 on this stretch, hopefully, because the Rockets need every win. Because I think there's a potential that they can catch OKC if they keep this up.
Say it's not so.
Yeah.
Now, while I'm here for the Rockets on this matchup, don't get it twisted. Thunder always up.